Was Shane behind you?
No, I didn't see him.
Oh, okay, no worries. Call meeting to order. Judy, you take the roll.
Okay.
Number 2, the discussion and vote to reorganize the board. We can leave it the same, or if anybody's got an amendment they'd like to see some changes, we can sure change things around. If not, it'll stay the same. So, going once, twice. I'll make a motion to keep the board as is.
I'll second.
Desiree, second. Judy?
Littlefield?
Yes.
Goodwin?
Yes.
Gibson? Yes. Willhite? Yes.
So number 3, we'll skip for next month, I'm assuming, or will that be a special, right?
I don't know that he has the audit completed yet, so we'll just have to kind of see and we'll
What is time
communicate with him and
I'll
see
have
where it's
to,
at.
yeah, I'll check the due date to the State Department. We might have to have a special.
Okay. So 3 and 4 will be skipped because Mr. Carroll couldn't make it. Number 5, discussion and vote to approve the minutes of the January 11th, 21 regular school board meeting. If you need a minute to look over your notes, go ahead. Otherwise, waiting on a motion. Desiree made a motion to approve, I'll second.
Littlefield?
Yes?
Goodwin?
Yes.
Gibson? Yes. Willhite? Yes.
Number 6, discussion and vote to approve the general fund encumbrances, purchase orders, and warrants.
You'll see that on this agenda looks different than what you're used to. I've itemized each of those rather than a consent agenda for those. To give us a little bit better opportunity to go through those in detail if we need to. Just a little bit away right now, counting probably different things. Judy's done a good job of highlighting there in your packet and making notes. The general fund purchases, you'll see several purchase orders there. Most of that is monthly, just commitments that we're already committed to, coffee machine rentals, lease agreements, things like that. The bigger ticket items, you will see there is one down there about halfway, Trinity 3 LLC. Those are for Chromebooks, and that's $789. That is the CARES 1 Act money, it's federal money, that we will be able to claim and get reimbursed for those. So anything that you see that's $789, $788, and then once we get into the call it CARES 2, second round of stimulus, I believe that's $793. So anything that's $788 on that list is money that's under the CARES Act, and we will get reimbursed for those things. Our rentals for the portable buildings, I will tell you that I have been on the phone with those companies to see if there's anything that we could do to possibly get out of a lease agreement that we're in with the admin building over there. And they've completed, but unfortunately we are locked into that lease until October on that building. So we'll need to make a decision here in the next few months as whether or not we want to have them come get it. We can save on utilities. We don't have to pay for that building to be hooked up, but they won't let us out of that lease. We have another one of the portables over there at the elementary. The lease is up on it. We're still continuing to rent. However, we give them 30 days notice. They'll come and pick it up. There aren't any pickup fees. Those were paid for up front. So that Williams Scotsman, that's that amount there. Those are the monthly fees that are associated with those things. Like I said, we're trying to eliminate those as quickly as we can. Bus repair, down there, purchase order number 161. We've had some issues with the chief bus, mainly sensors. things like that that will need replaced. But that bus is about 10 years old, so some of this is just regular maintenance. Some of it is going to be preventative, make sure we don't have bigger issues that come up. And so while it's in for one thing, trying to keep up with some of the regular maintenance that we need to. But that is what that was there on 161 for it. Part below that, one of our other route buses, we had a U-joint going out on that, and we were actually able to get the part and get the labor provided to fix that for free. And so we've got that up and running and saved quite a bit there. Those are kind of the bigger ones there on that list in the general fund. If you have any questions about any of those.
Questions on the general fund? Motion to approve. Amber, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson. Yes. Willhite. Yes.
Discussion vote to approve the building fund.
Just so we see, because this is going to be a little bit different. Building fund, we're going to start paying from now until June our utilities, our gas, water, and electric out of our building fund. You can see those amounts there. Roughly 14,000 total for those utilities and those three. And so we're trying to keep our committed costs in our general fund down. And so that's one way that we can do that, is we can pay those things out of general fund. Those are not things that we usually do, but right now there is money in the general fund to do those things. And it will be necessary for us to take some steps like that to get to the end of the year. So that is going to be pretty close to what each of those things will be from here on out for utilities.
Any other questions on the building fund?
Motion to approve.
Who's made a motion?
I'll second.
Desiree, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson. Yes. Willhite. Yes.
Number 8, discussion and vote to approve the child nutrition.
I don't really have anything here that is going to be out of the ordinary in that child nutrition fund. Just our regular monthly supplies and I believe we're going to start paying a salary, at least one of our cafeteria workers, two of our cafeteria workers' salaries will be coming out of that. Because of the reimbursement money that we've been getting, that fund is fairly healthy right now, so we're able to do that. Again, those are part of the measures that we need to take to get some of the expense out of the general fund.
Any questions on the child nutrition? Desiree made a motion. Amber, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson. Yes. Willhite. Yes.
Number 9, discussion and vote to approve activity fund reports. Is that the last page?
Find it, and we'll set there.
Yeah. Big one.
I don't have much to add here on our activity fund. I think it's in pretty good shape. And Mr. Hickman might want to jump in. I don't know if he has any information from our tournament. Obviously, our gate was a lot less than what it has been in the past because of COVID and things like that. But Jeremy, you have anything you want to add on the activity fund?
We might have made $50 for lucky, but we may just broke even too, so. Yeah, we didn't have very good crowds.
I don't know that this is something that we will have to do, but it's definitely something we're gonna have to keep on the table. But as spring approaches and our activities, if we're able to go and do those things as normal, we've never really had to rely on the activity fund for fuel costs and things like that. But that is something that a lot of schools do, and that's something that we will kind of need to keep an eye on and keep looking at. Can't really go back to last spring and look at our fuel costs because we really didn't have any, so we didn't get to go anywhere after March 12th. But if we go back and look the year before that, our fuel costs from March through May was roughly about $6,500 total, so it's not a huge expense. And again, we need to keep a close eye on the general fund expenses and where those are at. But we're also going to have to keep an eye on our activity fund because, just like Jeremy said, we just barely broke even on a tournament where we used to make quite a bit of money. So lots of pieces to the puzzle, but that is something in the future that we may have to look at as a possibility. But I do not have any other major items in the activity fund that we need to.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns on the activity fund? Amber's made a motion.
Second.
Shane second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson. Yes. Willhite. Yes.
Number 10, discussion vote to approve a transfer in the activity fund from 835 elementary cheer account to 813 elementary account in the amount of $1,620.55. Transfer required because the wrong account was inadvertently used to pay an invoice.
Just clerical error.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all that was there.
Yep.
Questions, concerns, motion?
The motion.
Desiree made a motion?
Second.
Amber second.
Okay. Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson. Yes. Willhite. Yes.
Number 11, discussion vote to approve the treasurer's report.
Amanda is not able to be here, and I don't know if there's a whole lot. If you want to look at your summary page, I think that was towards the back of that packet maybe. It lists all of our accounts there, beginning and ending, and expenditures, so you can get a little bit better idea of where everything is at. I will say that I did get word from the assessor's office today that one of the protests has been settled, and I believe that was with Mock. Unfortunately, it's a pretty low amount. Our part of that is only going to be total about $127,000 that we will get from that company's protest. So definitely not the amount that we would like to have. It is better than nothing, which at one point I was told that that would have been a possibility as well. So we should be getting that money in, I believe in March. And there is still more money out there caught up with other protests.
Do you remember what their total was that they had?
400.
The other ones that are still out there?
No, just mock, just the one settled.
No, I don't have that right in front of me. Targa is another one that's still out there, and our portion of that is roughly $750,000. And then Sandridge is another one, and this goes back to 2017. So
Yeah.
some of those, and that one is roughly $280,000. So there's still quite a bit out there, and it may be several months before.
Yeah, but I thought mock
Either
energy
of
was
those.
pretty significant.
I think it was a little over 400,000. That was what you thought.
A year for,
Yeah, since for 3 or 4 years.
And what the information she gave me back in October was that we were going to be lucky. The attorneys didn't think that they would get any of that. So
Well, the attorney's got it.
somebody got it. But
Yeah.
it really wasn't us. Like I said, that was our part, and they had the papers, and so that's what we will be getting from that. Nowhere near what, like I said, like we would like to have. The good news is, I guess, is at least it's settled, and we know where we stand, and we can kind of move forward knowing that. But other than that, as far as treasurer's report, I don't.
You think that was just a rant, you think the others will maybe be close by if one got one settled? You think?
The timeline that she gave me could be anywhere from the next 3 to 9 months.
Okay.
And, you know,
I just-
everything's taking a lot longer than it should, I think, because of COVID and just all kinds of other things that are going on and causing delays in that process. But they haven't had really any other meetings or any informational meetings or anything like that lately. But that information, like I said, I just got that today, so I guess it is better than nothing, but not what we wanted.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Amber, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson. Yes. Willhite. Yes.
Number 12, discussion and vote to approve the 21-22 school year calendar.
Everybody's got a copy of that. Not a lot of differences, other than we met as administration, and Jeremy and Ruth talked to some of their teachers and kind of got some input there on different things, some days that we have been taking off, and felt like some of those days we need to get back as much as we've lost. So we thought we'd try to get some of those days back. We did decide that a little later start in August would be beneficial. So we have on this calendar, we have the first day of school being the 19th. We've started on a Friday in the past, and you just can't get anything done on Friday. So the 19th gives you an opportunity to have your assemblies and things like that, and then that Friday can be your first kind of full day of actual classes, and teachers can spend more time going over the things that they need to go over individually by doing that. Starting a little bit later in August, there are a lot of activities, softball games and things like that take place during the day, and so starting a little bit later gives us a little bit better chance that we don't have to miss as many days for those types of things as well. Fall break is the 14th and the 15th. We've taken that Wednesday off of fall break for the last few years, and like I said, we felt like that was a day we could get back. Most schools, Career Tech, and people around us, they just take Thursday and Friday off, and that's kind of what we used to do a lot. So that gave us a day back there. We still have the full week at Thanksgiving blocked off there.
That's what we've been doing.
We've done that, and the ones that we've talked to, and people, I think that everybody kind of likes that longer Thanksgiving break. So we left that as a full week, and then 2 weeks, 2 full weeks for Christmas. Rather than being off that Monday and having a professional day, we usually have a ball game or something that night anyway, and so we just thought that would be another day that we could get back. So we could come back on the 3rd. And then the Friday there in service, that's during the Cherokee Strip Conference basketball tournament. President's Day in February. Felt like there was probably a lot of parents that also will have that day off, and so that's why we decided to leave that as a day out there. And that's kind of a long stretch there from the beginning of the year. And then really from there on, once we get past that Friday before spring break, we've hosted a track meet for the last several years on that Friday, and that has become a very big track meet.
Which Friday are you? talking about?
12th in March, 11th, sorry.
The 11th?
So being out that day's been beneficial to us. We've been able to host that meet, and we've had 25 to 30 schools that come because not a lot of places that host a meet that early. So that's been good. And then spring break, and then we would be able to take every Friday off, with the exception of the Friday right after spring break. Teachers want a full week after coming back there to get ready to move into testings and things like that. So there's a day we were able to get back. And then taking those Fridays off, we do get out a little bit later in May, according to this calendar, but the last few weeks of school are packed with banquets and field trips. And then we try to, if we have semester tests, and we just try to cram all that stuff right into the last week of school. So a few more days there in May, which will get us to our, required days and hours. I think we'll kind of free up our schedule a little bit and not just cram everything down our throats right at the end. So we're starting a little later and getting out a little bit later there. Like I said, we went over this calendar and they were able to get the input of several teachers, and this is what we've come up with. And it would have built-in snow days. 1,080 hours is what's required per this calendar, would give us about 1,135. So, like I said, if we don't have to use those days, snow days, then we're getting some days back, and we've missed a lot of days for the last year and a half. So those will be important.
Any other discussion on the school calendar? Have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Thanks, Desiree. Motion's Desiree. Amber, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson, yes, Wright, yes.
13, principals report.
I've got my 3rd and 4th grade kiddos are gonna go play at the basketball tournament in Jet on February 16th. And it's really our rec teams are gonna go, and they're doing it a little bit different this year. They're just gonna have us all play one day, so I think 3rd grade girls play, is it just one game?
One game, one day.
One game a day. So that's on February 16th. And then the only other thing, I checked my enrollment today. I'm up to 241 kids elementary. So gained quite a few in the last couple of weeks. I got at least 6 back from Epic, and then some from California, and just random weekends. So we're packed. Yep. That's all I have.
I just put some schedules together so you guys could have. Some of it's spring activities, some of it is,
What?
you bet. FCCLA and FFA have their weeks coming up. So I was just gonna share a little bit. Mark, you can have it, look at it, and hear me talk a bit. So FCCLA week is this week. Obviously, the weather hasn't cooperated very well for tomorrow anyway. Mrs. Gutch does a great job, and that just lists some of the things that she does throughout the week. Going on, playoffs start this Friday at Laverne. Boys play 8 o'clock Friday. Girls got the bye, they play Saturday at, I think I got the wrong time on that, but I'll double check that. Well, it's usually 6:30 and 8, but I don't think that time is right. But anyway, they'll play at Laverne this weekend, and then the regional is at Sealing and Moreland, and the area will be at Union. I don't have a total number on our students here. I know, just like Ruth, we've had several come back from Epic. since Christmas, probably 5 or 6. So we're getting not all the kids that we ever lost on to Epic are back.
When was the cutoff to get funding for that? When did they have to be back? Do you remember?
October 1 is
Is when you do your count, and that
Yeah.
determines your mid-year and all of those things, so.
Yeah, so Epic got the money.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, National FFA Week's coming up. I put some stuff in there for you. Local things, February 21st is a local show here at 12:30. Ms. Snyder said if anybody would like to come, she'd welcome you. The county show is that week, 22nd to the 24th. She said that Drake Williams and Gabby Solis both received the OYE scholarship, and that Gabby Solis and Riley Hensley will be Northwest District Show Leadership Social Media Team. So she said they get to present some things and do some stuff at the Northwest District Livestock Show. I put several schedules in there, track, softball, baseball, you can look those up. Academic school news, 38 students were on the superintendent's honor roll, 55 students were on the principal's honor roll. 5 junior students took the PSAT test in January. The entire junior class tested on the PSAT. They will take a SAT in April. Mrs. Jordan hosted a blood drive January 28th. 33 signed up, 25 were able to donate. Stuco runs the blood drive. February 2nd, the 5th through 12th graders met with OSBI agents to learn more about phone and internet safety. I think some of them knew that. Some of the things he was talking about, some of them I think learned some things. Seniors will be offered a free ACT test in early March, courtesy of the OKSDE, since COVID previously prevented their state testing in the spring. Also, making plans for high school schedule next fall, there are 25 juniors and 7 seniors who want to take classes at Northwest Tech next fall. That's a lot of kids for us. Additionally, there are about 10 to 12 students who plan to take college concurrent enrollment. Mrs. Jordan, again, is working very diligently on getting that done. She does a great job. February 17th, we'll give our 10th graders a free pre-ACT, courtesy of the OK State Regents. And then seniors are busy meeting with college representatives, taking college days, and applying for scholarships. So Mrs. Jordan has a lot going on. She does a great job, as I said before. The other thing, real quickly, I'll touch on, and I'll be quiet, is we will host 3 track meets here, regular season. We'll have the Steve Hickman, the Cherokee Strip Conference, which is the conference, basketball conference we're in, we are hosting, and the Buddy Merrill Invitational. We have also been privileged to host the regional again this year, and we will also host the state track meet for the entire Class A this year at Cherokee. So that's, to me, that's quite an honor. It's always an honor to do regional, but then an opportunity to, we're going to have communication with the OSSAA, and the opportunity for us to host, that's a really big deal, I think. So, anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Pretty exciting. Let's see, so, number 14, superintendent's report.
I really want to just kind of go over some of the things that we've been trying to do. Get some things back in line and correct some financial things that have been causing us some issues. Billy Irwin and Bucky, I really can't say enough about those guys. They've really stepped up and done a lot for us. I've asked them to kind of take on a lot of things that we've been doing out of house and start doing those things in the house. Even just changing our oil in the vehicles. Those are things that they've been doing. Billy's been great. Getting quotes together where we can get the best deal on oil and filters. Taking care of that. He's looking forward to this summer and trying to put quotes and things together for us when it comes to spraying. Working with people in town so that we have the right kind of equipment available for free to do that, so that we can start doing all of those things ourselves and we don't have to go outside things, because they will be necessary that we do them so that we can upkeep our facilities. But little things like that will go a long ways. Just like with the spring, we did, we changed that several months ago. They're doing that in-house. We've saved a lot of money that way. So, there's lots of little things that I feel like we're doing a good job and we're going in the right direction, but it's going to take some time for us to get where we want to be and where we need to be. There's going to be some bigger changes that have to take place, but we've got to get all the little things taken care of so that those bigger things will have the impact that they need to have and will be a longer lasting solution. As I mentioned, the tax protest, we did get a little bit of that back, not very much. So we've got to really start pinching pennies in the general fund especially, and there's lots of different things there working against us. We need to be aware of our estimate of needs, appropriations, and with the second round of stimulus money, that's going to help with that. We've got to get pretty creative with the things that we can use that money for to be able to claim it. There is a process and a bunch of hoops to jump through to get it. It's not just money in the bank for us. And that doesn't have to be a complicated process, but we do have to do it correctly. Doing all that, there are still things that come up and still things that happen. And we had one happen today. I don't know what it's going to be, what all is going to come of it, but we have a water line that is broke between the field house and the admin building over here underneath our parking lot. So we have water coming up through the asphalt there. The city came up, they got it shut down pretty quick. It is on our side of the meter. So, don't know why it broke. That line's not very old. I don't think that it was cold enough. It is cold, but I don't think it's cold enough to have caused that the way that it did. But nonetheless, we still are going to have things like that that come up from time to time. So I will be on the phone tomorrow with probably our insurance company adjuster and find out what we need to do to look at that. Obviously, first, I think that there will be some things there that are definitely covered. But this week, with the temperatures the way they are, that's not a project we can just jump into right now. So it's going to take a little bit of time. In the meantime, we just won't have water in the field house right now. So, but like I said, those things are going to continue to happen. Ruth mentioned that we have several kids back from Epic, and we do have a lot of those kids that have come to us from there that may have either started here at the beginning of the year, went that way, but they have come back. We see that a lot. We're not the only school. I hear that a lot. We've got, just talked to a lot of superintendents that are getting a lot of those kids come back. And unfortunately, after that October 1 date, when we can count them on a roll, that doesn't always work that way. And with Epic, as long as they live within our district, we have to take them. So there's lots of things, lots of bills being pushed in the legislature right now, and all kinds of different, faucets for education. Some of them could be beneficial. A lot of them, I don't know that they will be, but we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll pass along any information that I feel like is going to be helpful or harmful to us. But right now, a lot of things are just going to committees, and nothing's really being done that way. Other than that, like I said, we've changed up the agenda a little bit here. I want to try to be a little more transparent with some things. And up front, we've got a lot of tough decisions ahead. Our revenue for the year is down quite a bit, and based off of last year, it looks to be down close to about $1 million, if not a little bit more. So early projections for next year, it looks like we may have about $3 million that we'll have to work off of. So we've got to start putting some long-term plans in place to prepare for those numbers and get a handle on where we're at and where we're going. I wish I had a lot better news. It's a lot more fun to listen to the principals talk about the good stuff, but hopefully we don't have a lot of water line breaks and things like that come up. But
All right, so real quick, I was just thinking, if, would it be a possibility to use that little building as a maybe a needed classroom over at the elementary? Could we convert that into a classroom if it was
not the way
needed,
it's set up. It's set up for an office building.
Okay.
It's got a bunch of little ones. Moving it would be an additional cost,
Yeah,
and we did look at the possibility of
exchanging?
Yeah, and, the other one I asked them about if we were to possibly purchase it. We've been leasing it for almost 4 years, but they want $96,000, something like that was a quote that they shot to us, so we don't even need to consider buying a 4-year-old portable building for that.
No.
But we have it until October if we want it. We just gotta figure out what we're gonna do with it there. As far as the other one over there at the elementary, I think we've pretty well decided that we can do without it. And we can get rid of it. We'll just need to decide if we wanna get rid of it and not pay the utilities, but there's no benefit to it. There's plenty of room over here in this building, we can make it work. We're gonna have snow day tomorrow, and it will just be a regular snow day. If we have to take additional days due to ice and the temperature's not getting above freezing, those may be virtual days so that we can keep up with our instructional days and things like that. But tomorrow will just be a snow day. We started late today. Precipitation kind of kept up more than what I expected throughout the day. The roads in town are pretty slick. They're manageable. The highways are in pretty good shape. But my main concern now is we can't get the sidewalks, parking lot sidewalks to the parking lot. We can't get those to stay thawed out with the ice that's on there. We've had ice melt on them all day long throughout the day, and about the time we think we got a handle on it, it just freezes back up. So that's kind of the concern there is around the building, potential to slip and fall is pretty great. So I think that is all I have.
Any new business?
There's no new business.
That clears 15. Number 16, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Desiree second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson, yes, White. Yes.
7:39. Thanks for coming.